Hi, thanks for joining me. Thanks for dropping by. So all the quantities and the ingredients list are in the description of the video. So we've got some tomatoes, some passata, some ginger and garlic, some blended green chilies. We were using some lemon dressings, lemon juice. Use real lemon if you've got some, I don't. A little bit of chili powder, Kasuri Methi, Garam Masala, turmeric. We're going to first grind whole spices. Haven't done that for some time, not live on camera anyway. So we've got some fennel, coriander and cumin there. We've got 800 grams of diced lean beef, a stick of Cassia, 4 finely chopped onions and a little bit of coriander for garnish. So first of all, you want a dry pan on a medium heat. We're just going to allow those spices to heat up. Just a little bit of heating helps their aromatic oils release, and as soon as you can smell it, we're going to stop. We'll come back in a moment. I'm going to give it a stir. So that's been around 45 seconds and I can start to smell those aromas. Another 30 seconds. So that smells really good now, and they'll still continue to roast on the hot pan. So what I like to do is pour them into a container that we're going to be grinding them into a smooth powder with. And just like that, that's going to be blended. And let's return our pan to the heat. And we're just going to heat the oil. In goes a cinnamon stick, and what we have here is some really flavoursome cumin, fennel and coriander. And to that I'm just going to add about 2 teaspoons of turmeric. I've got enough for 3 servings here with lamb, so this is going to feed 3 people, and we just need a little bit of chili powder. And we have essentially a really good curry powder there, nice and easy. So just fry off your cassia until it's tarnished, and tinge the oil with a little bit of brown. Should take about 45 seconds. Next it's time to add those onions, and just before that makes a hell of a noise. Just saute the onions until they're really soft, and we'll come back once they're starting to brown. So I've just noticed that I didn't put the lid back on my Kasuri Methi, or dried fenugreek leaves, and it really picks up moisture very quickly just from the air. So I'm just going to dry roast that slightly and scrunch it up and get rid of any particles and twigs. Doesn't take long at all. So there's another tip for you. So those onions are just starting to brown, and you will have noticed the lamb is cooked from raw today, no pre-cooked lamb. So you need to get it in early, and as you seal the lamb it will start to cook through, and the remainder of the onions will also caramelise. But we're going to add ginger and garlic, quite a generous amount, about 6 tablespoons. So 3 portions, about 2 tablespoons of each. Can't get enough ginger and garlic. Super tasty, super healthy. So just going to give that a stir. We'll come back in perhaps 10 minutes. So that's been over 10 minutes, maybe 12 to 15 minutes. We've got some caramelisation. The onions have almost disintegrated, and everything smells really good, even though there's no spices besides the cassia. So everything's nice and sealed, so to speak. Next, I'm adding the blended green chilli. It's a habit I have at the moment. Blended green chilies, really nice. And we're going to add that, whoa, that curry powder that we made earlier. Salt to taste. And we're going to give that a good stir and cook it for a further 3 minutes, just to make sure the rawness has come out of those spices and everything's sealed and mixed well. So, like I mentioned, everything's sealed and mixed well. Adding 1 cup of water. And just stir it all round. Get all the caramelisation off the pan. And just let it come to a simmer. Really, this is not only about mixing the ingredients, but it's about making sure that lamb is super tender, and the water just helps it infuse all those great spices and flavours. Has a good impact on the finished dish, if you like. So I'm just going to reduce that now. We'll come back in about 5 minutes. Well, that's been around 7 minutes actually. I never time anything, it's all about processes, but that looks a bit barren to me, so we definitely need to just reduce it some more, make sure all the oil's splitting, which is a good indicator that the lamb's cooked. So another couple of minutes and we're going to add that tomato. It'll really give body and colour. We'll come back in a couple of minutes. So 2 minutes later, most of the water has evaporated, but it's left all the flavour. In with the Pasatta. Or you could simply use blended tomatoes, either fresh or tinned, or a combination of water and tomato puree. Whatever you have to hand, whatever floats your boat. Give that a good stir again, get the caramelisation off the side. Isn't it amazing? In Britain, we all know about the use of aluminium pans for rapid heat distribution and fast cooking, and you know, the caramelisation on the side at the bottom with the ginger and garlic spices, etc. And we know in England to scrape all that back into the sauce, you know, but it's really interesting to see some of India's so-called best chefs using Tefal and non-stick pans to cook with, just because everybody has a drive to be modern. But yeah, so one tip for anybody in India that isn't aware of our little British Indian restaurant tip of caramelisation: scrape it back in, give the dish flavour and character. You know, wouldn't dream of using a non-stick pan unless I was making a dosa or a chapati or something like that. But you know, Pakistanis, they really understand the great pots and karais and kadahis that they use. You know, the balti bowl, it's all about caramelisation. I'd love to visit Pakistan and see all those great karais being cooked on the street, being sizzled away. Anyway, what I'm going to do now is, if I can find it, I'm going to reduce the temperature. I'm putting a lid on. I'm going to cook that for about 15 minutes. We shall return. So that's been about 15 minutes. I did give it a little stir. Next, in with the Garam Masala, the Kasuri Methi, the optional pieces of tomato. I want one in each dish. We have 3 portions here because it breaks the monotony of the sauce, really. It looks good and adds a little bit more character. So what I'm going to do now, I'm adding 1.5 cups of water. I'm going to give it a stir, then I'm going to put the lid back on and we're going to simmer it down for 25 minutes, and we'll come back and have a look what it finally looks like. Really, really important to be a bit patient with the lamb cooking from raw like this. I know it's in little cubes, but usually takes around an hour 15 to soften lamb, so nice gentle heat. So that's what it looks like after simmering down for about 25 minutes, and it really does make the difference. So do simmer it down and slowly cook it on a gentle trickle. So it would help to make a really big batch of this because it does take some time you know, just cook it until your lamb's soft and you can't go wrong really. A little bit of lemon juice on the top of each. And there you go. Thank you very much for watching. Stay safe, drive carefully in these icy conditions and keep warm. Thanks for watching.